hello there, and we are live. See, ladies and gentlemen, see, today is the Saturday Premier League show. It's just a roundup of the Saturday games. Of course, right now we won't have any viewers right now. Of course, later on they'll watch it because the Liverpool game is actually going on right now, and it's the seventh. I think it's the 20th minute. Liverpool
Yeah.
won. Leeds won. So big one. See,
Whenever they play,
today,
they score goals. A lot of goals in those games.
see, today is the Saturday Premier League roundup show, and I have special guests in the house. Making his debut on my show is one of my friends. Off the table. He comes to support me on my shows, and he's also a very very seasoned Chelsea follower, an ardent one. And I really respect this guy, not just for his footballing views, but for his views as a human being. He's a very nice guy. JPT, you're welcome to the show, to your debut, my brother.
Oh, what a debut!
I was about to say, it's a pleasure to make your debut, obviously, but
Exactly.
the day could have, of all days.
I called it too. I was like, watch. I want it to be on a. It would be like this. It would be like this.
Guys, and I did not let the cat out of the bag because he's also a Chelsea fan, and he runs a channel called the Added Time Podcast. You're welcome to the show, JPT.
Yeah, same here, guys. Thank you.
Fresh from wins, fresh from the wins.
Not just a win, an annihilation, a demolition job.
A demolition job
on the fucking Brummies.
Guys, it's my guy, my homeboy, my brother, my everything. It's everything to me right now, bro. Because we have a show coming up on Monday, and it's going to be called Gooners and Mags. Am I correct, Steve?
And also Storks of Strasbourg.
No problem, brother. Hey, welcome to the show, Steven. You don't need any introduction. You're welcome, brother.
No, thank you for having me on. It's a pleasure, bro. 100%. Thank you.
You know what? Let's just go straight into it. JPT from the Chelsea fan base, my brother. Take me through what happened today at Brighton. Just take us through. Today was the day that the master of the yard, who left to a more bigger yard, came back to his backyard and got completely destroyed. Absolutely destroyed today in the heart of Brighton. Take me through that match today. What happened between Chelsea Football Club and Brighton Football Club today?
Just gonna put this down for a second. Oh my god, it was such a fucking headache today, man.
Give yourself a moment.
He banged his head on the computer keyboard.
Like that's how it felt
Ladies
for
and
90 minutes.
gentlemen,
90 minutes.
Only on Tony Cole's Gunner TV.
It was that.
My question is to you. First question: when Chelsea, because I didn't watch much of the game, I watched the last 30 minutes when some Bundesliga and Napoli game ended.
Didn't miss much.
When you scored, did you feel like it was a consolation, or how did you feel when the Chelsea goal went in? Did you feel like maybe we could do something, maybe, or were you like? How'd you feel?
I felt like it was going to be a story of two halves, like, going down 3 to have it be what should, I won't say should have because nothing's guaranteed, but high chance of happening that we could have equalized with the opportunities we were given, the sitters that were missed, despite how we lined up, the formation we had, the players we had, the player positions, out of position players, I should say. It was not good. I mean, look, and I could be bitter and I could be mad that now.
Actually, just take us through what happened in that match first. Let's first hear your views about it.
I'll say this: because I could not find like a like a stream on it to play it. I was struggling to find it, just keeping up with the score. But
when the show's over, by the way, I can hook you up with Peacock. Do you live in the US?
Peacock. I have Peacock.
Oh, yeah.
They weren't showing the game through that. They were showing Tottenham and.
Oh, okay. Well, regardless, I can hook you up. But anyways, so
thank you.
Of course.
But yeah, no, it was just a defensive mistake, but it was starting off for the midfield, especially with RLC. His name is, the initials are appropriate, RLC, ready to leave Chelsea. This man needs to just dip out the door. He's the only reason why we have him. Look, I mean, you can say like Steve looks like he had a lot of girls at his time. I'll just say this, Steve, when you had like options, but you know what, you just had like an easy picking right there. It's like, better than nothing. That's what it's like to have Ruben Loftus-Cheek. I don't give a shit. My thing is that until this summer or January, when we have a chance to buy a right wing back to actually be helping James, or to be a proper replacement for James when he's not there, in case things like this happen, and another DM, we have Zakaria. He still is not showing up. He's not being played, whatever it is. But Potter, he had it wrong from the beginning. When I saw the back three system, I was like, maybe there's like a healthy player, that maybe the Koulibaly thing was happening, but seeing the players available, that was the wrong formation. That was the wrong set of players. And I was like, well, any good chance we had.
But again, isn't it the formation that has always been working for you guys?
Not when a lot of our center backs are hurt, and with James being hurt. That's the issue. And we've seen how Cucurella is as a left center back. It's not his position.
He's not Reece James. He's not a guy that can slot in as that wide center back in a back three. He needs to play as a wing back. Left back, he can do that. He can do that.
As a back four, that's what we should have done. Back four, either the 4-2-2-2 or the 4-2-3-1, whatever. But
that was apparent after the Salzburg game, by the way. I noticed that.
So mentally, you're like, okay, this is what I don't know if he just outwitted himself, like tinkered too much. Like y'all play fantasy, football, like through the FPL. Steve, I'm sure does fantasy football like NFL. You tinker too much with your team, and you have a good lineup, but then at the last second you just probably mess up.
You get cute. And you overthink it.
And that's what I think happened, man. People especially were expecting like, oh, he's gonna know what to do against his old club. Who else knows this club?
But De Zerbi, he might know the strengths and weaknesses of his Brighton players, but De Zerbi, although he plays similar to Potter, he has them doing slightly different things for that very reason, so that Potter can't be like, exactly.
And you can
JPT,
see it like,
JPT, what was the problem? What was the problem today? Because the defensive play of Chelsea today was in complete shambles. It was a disgrace. Loftus-Cheek scoring an own goal, Chalobah scoring an own goal. Oh my God, what's happening?
I mean, here's the thing: like with own goals, it sounds like this player messed up. Ruben had a horrible game today. Shallow, I think he did as best as he could. I mean, the thing is that the own goal, it was just mistimed. It happens. Like, I won't say that made him have a bad game. We let ourselves get into that position. We should have. But we lost the whole battle on the right side, and especially when you have Ruben there. He was just having a horrible day.
Oh, my God.
And when one of your midfielders has a horrible day, that's a key to the other team to exploit that weakness, because games are won and lost.
And we're already thin at that spot already, too. Yep. Conte is not going to come out of injury anytime soon. Who else? Kovacic is playing somewhat hurt, but I mean, he had a great game against Salzburg. But here's the thing: we cannot. We had a good game, but we barely escaped with that last.
You don't have the luxury. See, JPT, you don't have the luxury of an excuse today.
Well, I'm not saying an excuse. We got.
Oh no, he wasn't making an excuse. He definitely wasn't.
No. I'm just saying. That
in general, you were saying.
In general, you don't have any luxury for an excuse today.
And as I was saying, like Steve, Newcastle now is 4 points clear, from 4th to 5th. Rightfully so.
3 points clear.
If I'm not mistaken.
Either way,
It
as
should be.
anyone thinking that Chelsea is going to be guaranteed top 4 after the weekend, or even just in general, we're in competition. Steve, I told you this. I keep pointing to Tony, but yeah, Steve, I told you this. Top 4 contenders, Newcastle. It looks like they're coming back up. Like they are showing themselves.
Yeah,
Whether it's the Howe
that's
effect,
the piece.
but yes, the players like I was saying, if we were thinking that what Potter's I'm going all over. Potter's going to know the same exact team. No, I mean look how just changing the manager, just a few days or just like a couple of games, how different it is. Like Lampard to Tuchel to Potter. Even though Potter and Tuchel had the similar type of back three formation, but you can still do wonders with that team if you know how to know their weaknesses or how to adapt to fixing them to like cope.
Mm-hmm.
And he's done that. I mean, yes, he hasn't won. This was his first win. Was it probably coming? Maybe. I mean, this was the right time to beat Chelsea with that squad because and you could say it as an argument. Had James been there, would have been a tighter game. Maybe would have ended in a draw. We've been ending with draws with them for a while, but this is our first win since 1933, since the first ever time they beat us. Now we don't. I think I don't know
first
how many
loss.
times,
You meant it's Brighton's first win. Yeah, I know what you. Yeah.
Oh, I thought I worded it like that. My fault.
I couldn't believe my eyes. It was as if I was in cuckoo land today. Like Loftus-Cheek is scoring on goals. Chalobah is scoring on goals. Chelsea defense completely ripped apart. Cucurella for the first time looked clueless to me on a Chelsea shirt. Very, very clueless today.
Then we also
my eyes. Steve, can you take us through that game? We've already heard what JPT have said about that game from the Audit podcast. See, how did you see that game today?
Like I said, I only watched the last half hour of it just to see what would happen because I saw Chelsea scored and I was like, maybe they'll come back. So I flipped off. Like I said, the Napoli and Leipzig and Leverkusen games, they ended. So I was like, okay, I'll watch second half or wherever it was at.
And big up to Napoli too. Holy fuck!
13 straight wins, best team in Europe.
13 straight wins, man. 13 straight wins. They're gone in for that Serie A. They're gone in for that Serie A.
I won't be surprised if they're going for that Champions League too. I mean,
they can. They can. They have strength and depth. Absolutely. Yeah. And we could talk about Napoli later, but because they absolutely deserve work. But anyways, so the thing is, when I didn't see the Chelsea goal, but I probably watched. I think
I didn't
obviously I focused mostly on the Newcastle game. But whenever I looked over at the Brighton game, I just saw. I didn't see you guys much on the ball. If I'm honest, I thought Brighton were hungry dogs out to just batter, and that's exactly what Newcastle did too. It was like watching the same game. We were trouncing Villa, and Brighton were trouncing you, and they wanted more, and we wanted more.
That's the thing. In the second half, there's like a good after the goal, we were like on it. We were on it
5 or 10 minutes.
Yeah.
5-10 minutes. But we were not like Pulisic in the first half missed that. It was a bounce. Maybe he didn't know it was coming. So if you're the supposed LeBron James of soccer, LeBron James will finish it all day. even right now, you can be fucking. I don't know. You don't have to be LeBron James.
You can be Shaq.
You could be Delonte West, and if you know, you know. That's what I'm saying. Yes, I know you know, but it was bad. And then Kai Havertz, yes, he scored the goal. And like I said, I worry about his fanboys praising him. They still solidifying that he's back. But that when he made that statement of, "Oh, I've been here for 3 years. You know what I can do, and you know what I said. I know what you can do. You can be inconsistent, and that's the thing. He has good moments." Of brilliance, and he might carry that over to like a set of maybe like 1, 2, 3 games, but then he'll have a long period of just being quiet.
Are you talking of Kai Havertz right now?
I just said the Kai Havertz fans.
They're
gonna solidify that he's back because he scored a second. Great at 3-1, and also you missed I think 2 just clear chances that would have boosted your confidence, would have made you. Probably get a hat trick.
Spurred the team on. Got the team, uplifted the team.
But also, but look at the formation too. Why is
the spotlight on Kai Havertz?
Because it cost a hell of a lot of money. That's why.
It was an all-round game that was missed today
The whole
by
team,
Chelsea.
the whole team.
The whole team was poor.
I'm
I
just
don't see
saying, but
why
who was the
everyone
one
is going
talking
for
during the
Kai
week?
Havertz.
Yes, and that
Week?
I was just about to say that.
He shouldn't have said. He shouldn't have said anything. Just focus on your game.
Wasn't his celebration a too? That's Maguire levels of fucking like, dude, chill out, bro. His head, he needs to get it screwed up. He needs back on LeBron James. People tell him shut up and dribble. Same to Kai Havertz, brother. Keep your mouth shut. Perform on the pitch, and that's something that top players. They do a bit of chatting, but guess what? It's because they just got a hat trick in a Champions League final or whatnot.
It's
like,
the OGs that do it. It's like the people who have been here that, you know, like I don't need to say shit on social media. Sorry, Tony. I don't know if it's like too much.
Yeah, it's okay.
But they just do their talking on the game. But now everyone just like, I need to say something. I need to post something. I need
social media,
that's a whole nother realm. But with the formation that we went with, look who our wingbacks were. It was
Pulisic and Sterling.
Oh my God!
Why not a back four?
Now that's the elephant in the room that you guys ought to be talking about. Sterling was absolutely poor today. 0 runs. The opportunities that was created, you know, by your midfield, totally fluffed his lines today. He wasn't creating spaces. Usually, a Sterling would want to create spaces, you know, for other people to score. It completely wasn't in the game at all to even be in that position to even create spaces. And even if he was not creating spaces in Manchester City, we've seen him. If he doesn't create spaces, is in on the end scoring the goals. Today, he wasn't creating those chances. He wasn't scoring.
And he also had defensive.
He had a more poorer game than Kai Havertz today.
Yeah.
So I wonder why Kai Havertz is getting the whole, you know, the whole smoke from, you know, from a cross section of the Chelsea fan base.
The reason why I think he is because of what we just said. When you talk on social media, you're putting unneeded extra pressure and the spotlight on yourself. And so if that's why some people aren't going as hard on other guys as they should, because no one else was running their gop after they beat Salzburg or whatever, saying I'm back or what, you know. When you do that, you're putting an extra level of pressure on yourself that's unnecessary. He thinks that people really give a damn about what he says off the field. They do. And then, but if you fail to follow up on the pitch, then we're going to bring it up, of course, because you made that rational and conscious decision in your mind to do so. So it's a bad PR move. And it's a bad move for your criticism post-match.
Because you're validating your openings for criticism.
You're opening the floodgates.
And everyone's open to criticism. Like
of course.
We all love our squad. We all love our club, our players, whatever. But just because you love them doesn't mean, you know, they're excluded from criticism. Like,
but they're infallible.
Exactly. Yeah. Like, you know, the fans pay their money. They, you know, dedicate their time to follow. We do this. And it's just like, you know, God forbid you have an opinion. And like you just say, it's like, you know, I don't think he played good today, or I thought this player played better than him. Yeah. But like it's either that everyone is 110% or you're a fake fan, or like you're just negative.
And we could go into a whole subtopic about that. That's what social media does.
Yeah.
It's one day, it's Graham Potter is the best manager on earth. He's basically Pep, just born in England, or he needs to get out of my football club right now because he's an idiot.
But see, Graham
Potter
just came into this club. This is his first loss in about, I think, 10 games or so. He hasn't lost.
7 or 8, yeah.
See, I'm already hearing in some Chelsea quarters, someone like Chelsea Dan today was raining abuses and curses on the.
To be fair, that is heat of the moment stuff. That is heat of the moment stuff that I think we're all guilty of.
I mean, like, maybe again, this is more of a Steve thing. Y'all seen Happy Gilmore?
Yes, great movie.
You're gonna hate you. Get out of my life. I was like, I'm so sorry, baby. I didn't mean that. That's what it felt
it's crazy.
Like. And
it's great.
Yeah,
it's absolutely crazy, guys.
Now let's look at the other team involved in the game because I didn't watch it. Brighton were brilliant, I'm assuming.
Brighton were great.
And even though Chelsea were bad, there are times where teams play bad, but they don't get the 3 points. So how did Brighton play? Who were the standout players, tactics? What, I don't know. Give me your thoughts on how Brighton exploited the weakness. Give me your thoughts.
mean, you all eyes were on Trossard today. That was number one. He was
got
great.
the first goal.
Unbelievable player.
And he was just
very
good
good.
From the left. He was always involved. And then you got to give respect to, some good saves from Sanchez. He's making a spot wide. Kepa has to earn his spot. Weirdly enough, strange that he was the switch at halftime, which I was like, out of all the positions or out of the players that could be, a lot of people were saying Arsenal needs to come off right now. Pulisic needs to come off right now. Kepa comes.
Yeah, you subbed on Mendy for Kepa. What?
No,
we subbed on Mendy. That was the biggest shock of the game for me.
Why? And that's what I'm saying.
We will go into that topic. We will go into that topic in depth because you asked a very, very good question, Steve. See, in Ntoma, there's a guy called Ntoma.
Yes, the Japanese kid. He's fucking brilliant. He's gonna have a killer.
He peppered from the right. From the right-hand side of that Chelsea
brilliant
box.
player.
He was running the channels today. He looked hungry. He was like, when a pack of wolves.
I didn't know he was Japanese. Holy fuck.
When a pack of wolves are coming to get you, the lead pack of the wolf. That was what Ntoma was today. It was a totally different player today. McAllister.
He's class.
Oh my God! Today,
Solly March kept Cucurella
whatever his performances in the last 3-4 games that Brighton haven't really picked up maximum points in the past 3-4 games. See, those sins have been forgiven. Today, he looked like a lion. It was like a tiger in that midfield. The way he captained that midfield and galvanized the team to move further. It was wow. And Caicedo was paired with McAllister at that point in that midfield. And it was always
unbelievable.
Exactly. And it was always looking passes. If you notice, it was looping passes from the midfield down to Trossard
was gone.
To catch that ball. And even to Ntoma most times. They had great players. Today, they just look hungry today.
Everyone.
They looked hungry. Hungry. Let's get through this now. See, Chelsea have been defeated today. They're out of the top 4 somehow.
Moment.
Yeah, at the moment. Even if they win their match, their game in hand, like all those supporters have always been saying, we have a game in hand. Right now, they've lost that bargaining chip right now. See, they're out of the top 4. JPT, what does this spell for Chelsea Football Club?
I would say
out of the top 4, formation in disarray.
I'll say for
defense
right now,
shaky.
I don't want to say it's too shaky. Like I said, I think once James does come back, it should be good. But it depends how big difference how he's going to look, because it's an MCL injury that he picked up again, or ACL.
Ooh, ACLs are tough. You saw what that did to Bellerin. He lost. Bellerin was and I'm not saying Bellerin and Reece James, but you know what I'm saying. And especially Ruben Loftus-Cheek was the same thing. Before his ACL injury.
He was amazing.
Yeah, box to box. God. A quick burst of pace, goals and assists, defending. He was involved in everything. But that ACL happened. He hasn't looked the same.
You can argue same with Callum Hudson-Odoi, how that affected his game. It was bad. I'm just trying to see it just says knee injury, but I want to say it was an ACL because I think he just re-injured what he had from last season, which
and those recurring injuries are concerning.
Because look what it did to Chilwell.
Yep.
Chilwell has not recovered. The only other athlete that I've seen recover from a knee injury like that, outside of James, and he has youth on his side. I think there was one other player, but to this standard, Adrian Peterson. I would say Adrian Peterson from the NFL.
Yes. And also, if you want a football one, Santi Cazorla, when he moved on from Arsenal, won the Europa League with Villarreal and was brilliant for them. Absolutely brilliant. True. And I think it's because he switched to La Liga, which isn't as fast-paced and frenetic.
Exactly.
But at Villarreal, he got to sit next to it like Etienne Capoue and whatnot, and he could just run the show with the technical ability, which La Liga is obviously very well renowned for. So it might be it's probably a situation with Ruben Loftus-Cheek. Maybe he should go somewhere like La Liga. I know I'm not an Englishman, but you're right with Reece James. That's a concern.
We have to wait until we get those replacements as a CDM, as another CDM, and a right wing back. He's been doing good. We were better than we were expecting. As
so
a
you're
right
saying
wing
you
back.
need more signings, right? Is that what you're saying?
We've always needed a right wing back. I know we got a bunch of center backs and defensive players, but look how many of them got injured.
Azpilicueta can do a job.
Koulibaly's injured.
Yeah,
Tony's enjoying this. God damn it, Tony.
Azpilicueta can do a job as a wing back in certain games. In certain games, Caesar can do a job at right wing back, but if it's a big game, if it's a game like Brighton, with it's super quick, you can have Aspie at right back.
He's getting older. He's getting older. You see, you can't rely on these guys for that long.
N'Golo Kanté, you need a long-term replacement, which Chukwuemeka
for window. See, look at the dynamics of what happened today. In 7 games, Brighton have lost actually 4 matches. They're that poor. They've not won a game since 6 games
It's not even
ago.
that they've been
Their
poor.
last win came in the win against Leicester at home.
I think Tony's just adding that. Like, how did you lose to this sucky ass team?
By the way, Brighton played extremely
poor this season. Extremely poor.
Not at Man City away.
Like
I know the scoreline at Man City was 3-1. They played well, though. What you're trying to say is the results haven't fallen, but they're getting acclimatized to deserve.
They should be Liverpool.
It's like how Chelsea's getting acclimatized with Potter. Yeah.
Because this Brighton team, this is the same Brighton team that tied with Liverpool, that should have won, but but that's what I knew what I was
drew against Nottingham Forest.
Doesn't matter.
That game, I watched that game though. I watched that Nottingham Forest.
The second to the last worst goal conceded record in the Premiership.
What else?
But what did we just say though? Any given day, the Premier League will be the Premier League, and it's the lowest team can outperform. And you're not going to see that in La Liga. You're not going to see that in Bundesliga.
It happens sometimes, but you're right.
Very rarely does it though. When you see Madrid go against Cadiz, who's going to be fair?
To be fair, Cadiz beat Atletico Madrid today 3-2.
But Atletico Madrid has not been looking good too.
Yeah, I know. I just wanted to give an example.
Right.
Just play devil's advocate.
I know.
JPT, if Arsenal comes to Stamford Bridge next week Sunday, and you manage to beat Arsenal, let's say maybe 2-1, do you think the team is all right if they win that match next week? Will you just say, okay, let's just forget about what happened this week? It's just one of those blips. Or would you just say, hey, we still have a genuine problem in this team. We need to strengthen or whatnot. What do you think if you beat Arsenal next week?
I say this. For any team, any game, any moment, whatever happens, you move on to the next game. Mm-hmm. You can't dwell on what happened. You can't come off a high. And you can't bring it. But if it's like a negative thing like this, you move on. There's nothing to do to bring it. If you come in with that mentality, you already lost the game.
Yes, because sport is all about not just physical. We forget that these guys aren't robots.
Exactly.
Yeah? They're humans with mentalities that need to be that starts from the top of a club, and then the manager outlays that ambition and whatnot. So that's the crucial thing. And the other thing that Potter cannot do anymore, I'm sorry, the back three at this moment with injuries, you can't because Salzburg gave you a hell of a game, and
exactly
you scored, and you guys scored 2 worldies, albeit you were the better team, but there were moments where Salzburg pressed you high up in your half, and there were some concerning moments.
Because you know what, that's the thing to play against Chelsea. If you notice, their worst performances is when they've been really tested, like in a high pressure
away in particular.
And particular too, but you know what? We haven't looked that sharp, like 100% sharp, like at Stamford Bridge. I mean, maybe just my 2 cents, but it's because especially when we had Mendy in the back, and let me say this too: for the look, no one wants their own players to play bad. No one has an agenda. Like that's the dumbest thing ever.
Right.
But
Amy Baba in the
when
chat.
people,
Big ups to you, Amy Baba. You're welcome to the show, Amy Baba.
but here's the thing:
RJH Radio Sangam, welcome to the show. Chelsea Dan, thank you for being on the show with us. Strasbourg Steve is here with us. Toby Arawumi, thank you for coming to the show. Alfie Brindy, thank you for coming to the show. Yeah.
all right, and then this is the thing. So I completely lost my train of thought. But it's so the thing is that when Mendy came on, all right, okay,
Yeah.
let's see if he's improved. Let's see, because if Kepa had the patience to give in his chance when he did, because he understood his role was, if we go to penalties, most likely you're going to go on, or if we have cup games and want to give Mendy a break, you're going to go on. All right, Mendy gave his chance today, was tested a little bit, but the main thing was that how has his distribution improved since then?
Yeah.
What was one of his first passes? Gave it straight to Brian at the top corner of the box.
They nearly scored.
And thank God he got cheeky and just like, I'm gonna try to chip it. You forgot he's like 6'7" or something. This man's a fucking giant. But how he's not that good with his feet. Here's the thing. Kepa is good. I still think he's the better of the two, but they're both incomplete goalkeepers. One is horrible with foot distribution and just distributing in general. He looks like he's not commanding his line correctly, because he almost came into collision with Connor and was going to have the most embarrassing goal of the season, because you saw what was coming.
But was there any reason given for the changing of Kepa?
Probably mentality. With goalkeepers, it's weird. Again, I'm probably sounding like a broken record comparing this to NFL, but it's like a place kicker. You see, Tony, you've seen NFL games, the field goal people that if they can't throw the ball to the other side, it's going to be a kick for 3 points, inflation points.
Right.
But it's if you miss one, it sticks with you.
A kicker, yeah. If you miss field goal, extra points, and those start to add up. When you miss 3 in a row, sometimes you'll see NFL teams just be like, "We're cutting you, and we're getting a new guy in."
Because they'll be like, "Oh, we lost by 6 points or 7 points." If you had just scored those 3 field goals, so it's and that's the thing with goalkeepers, they get nothing but hate unless you have like a performance like Kepa did versus Aston Villa. Then you're praised. Other than that, it's like, okay, well, what else were you supposed to do? But you didn't.
Just like how an NFL kicker, if they win you the Super Bowl in the last kick, they will get that huge moment of glory. But if they miss it, they're the villain.
Hey, Steve,
100%.
take us through Newcastle's game today against Aston Villa. See, guys, Newcastle top four right now. They actually got into the top 3 today, but Tottenham Hotspurs managed to come back from a 2-goal deficit and beat up Bournemouth today to maintain that third spot. See, Wilson had a lovely game. He was just one shy of a hat-trick today. That dude is on fire completely today. He had a goal disallowed today. He scored the first goal. He scored the second goal. See, he even provided a goal for Joe Linton. This guy is on massive fire today.
And so is
happening with the boys today. What happened today? What was the mentality of Newcastle today? And hey, is top 4 cemented for you?
Not cemented, but you know what is cemented? The conversation, the dialogue to be. We people need to look out for us 100%, because you know what? Teams used to come to St. James's Park in recent years. In the 5 years I've been a fan, teams used to come to St. James's Park and they would be the ones taking the game. We used to be the guys time killing. We used to be the guys, flopping a bit or, going down with an injury and whatnot, which actually Emi Martinez did suffer a concussion. That's not part of this. And I hope he gets well. That concussion shit is no joke. Absolutely no joke. Could ruin your life. So he was rightly subbed off. But Mings, Buendia was falling down all over the place. Teams are genuinely frightened and taken aback when they come to St. James's Park that they have to resort to things like time wasting, playing defensive, being organized, and not and they just look to counterattack. The thing is, they tried to the refs also like they would, the refs would blow the whistle a lot because of fouls and whatnot, and that was because they tried to follow the Everton playbook of first half of St. James's Park. We're in some deep shit. We can't let Newcastle get into a rhythm because we've seen the damage that they can cause. Yeah. And the first half, they got what they wanted for the most part. But there was 10 additional minutes for the Emi Martinez thing and some other time-wasting stuff and all that. So there's 10 minutes added on. We got our, the penalty, fucking Ashley Young diving out and making a good goalkeeping save. But the problem is he's an outfielder. So it was a handball in the box, and he had the balls to say to the ref, that wasn't a foul. He was really trying to make his – I mean, I don't blame him. Like, everyone's going to try to, like, bullshit it, but, like, it is funny when it's a clear and obvious penalty and the guys are like, what? That wasn't a penalty? But they have to try that. You do any little thing to win. We scored that, and then second half, just it wasn't even – it was a jury, no contest. No fucking contest. We played them off the park. They couldn't foul us. They couldn't get a sniff of the ball. They had minute chance. They had no shots on goal for the second straight game at St. James's Park. We didn't allow Everton a shot on goal. They had one shot. Aston Villa had 3 shots, none on target. None.
It's shocking because this is the same Aston Villa that actually beat up Brentford just last weekend by 4 goals to 0.
That's
Aston Villa, please stand up.
That's the Villa I thought we were getting, but you know what? Because teams are starting to notice, hey, they don't lose at home very much. We're going to have to change our tactics. The only one that didn't change their tactics was Pep, and there were still times in that game at St. James's Park where we bossed around Man City for some significant time. So that's the thing. When you come to St. James's Park nowadays under Eddie Howe, you have to change the way you play. And you have to essentially put respect on Newcastle's name because we will toast you on the counterattack. We'll get free kick goals. We'll get goals from Miggy. We'll get goals from Wilson.
Haven't lost in 8 games. The last time they lost was against Liverpool. And that
was in the 90s. We pushed them. We pushed them tooth and nail, blood, sweat, and tears until the 98th goddamn minute. So they had to literally perform out of their skin after 98 minutes to finally just break through us. So that's the thing. We are becoming an incredibly hard to beat team to beat, home especially, and even away.
See, JPT, I'll bring you in here. See, even you just talked about home. See, Newcastle is becoming that boogie team that you have to be afraid of them.
You don't want them on your. You don't want to see them.
You don't want them anywhere in your vicinity. You don't want to play them in St. James Park. You don't want to have them in your home. Just ask my noisy neighbors Spurs, and they will let you know what I'm talking about.
I mean, serious, bro. St. James has always been like a difficult place that people just either don't admit it or they don't see it, but it's there. I mean, and mostly because for me, because like my cousin is like a Newcastle. That's his English team. He's a diehard Madrid fan though. But anyways, when we watch the game together, when it's Chelsea and Newcastle, I don't know what to expect, especially if it's at St. James. Like look,
we got you guys in 2 games.
Exactly. And so it's just you don't know what's gonna happen, especially like I think the last time we played, like how did it end last time? I mean, because I don't know if this was like a lot of shit's happened since the summer. So I think Chelsea won that game, right? It was like 2-0 or 2-1.
What
the last time Chelsea played at St. James's Park?
We won 3-0. It was a Jorginho penalty at the way end and a Reece James brace, if I'm not mistaken.
That's where, like, look, and when James is there, big piece of the
Huge.
system.
Huge.
He's like, the joke was that he now named it St. Reece James's Park, like because he had not been dominant in a while at St. James, but now it's a dangerous place to play versus this team. I mean, like I wonder what Jack Grealish is thinking right now. That's what makes me happy.
He awoke
That's
a
what makes
beast.
me happy.
He awoke a beast that no one knew of, and I don't even think Miggy knew he had this in him. I'm sure he rates himself. He's a professional and all that, but we're talking 6 goals in 6 games.
And a few of them could be candidates for goal of the seasons.
And yeah, that's the other thing too. The goals are of astonishing and remarkable quality.
Did you see that
they
goal
aren't
from
just tappins; they're curlers.
Scoring bolters after bolters.
He's having a goal of the month competition with himself. He's having a goal of the goal of the season or goal of the month competition with himself. With himself.
You can't argue that.
Himself. And you know what the best part is? Unlike other clubs who rely very much on certain players, like we just talked about with Chelsea, they look very, very different without a Reece James, without a Fofana, without this guy, without that guy. Manchester United, Arsenal have lots of first-team players that they cannot afford to get injured under any circumstance because the drop-off in quality is – it's too much. It's too much. It's too much. But the thing that's different about Newcastle United is that we have, since we've signed those guys in January, like Trippier. Trippier has had spells without injury. When we beat Arsenal 2-0, Trippier wasn't playing. He wasn't even on the bench. It was Kraft at right back. Guys like Sven Botman weren't here last year, yet we went from 20th to 11th with Schär and Lascelles. And, we're not a one-man team. We're not a one-man team.
It shows.
Everybody in Newcastle. Yes, everybody in Newcastle. And keep in mind, Alan Saint-Maximin wasn't needed for this game, but he played the last 10 minutes. And Isak is out till the World Cup. And Jandro Shelvey is coming slowly back.
Oh
he
my
came
God,
on again.
This is a team without Isak right now. Imagine them with Isak.
Oh my God, this guy still have killers that haven't even.
And we still have a January window. So basically, let me tell you like this: we're performing like this with a less than full strength starting 11 and squad. We have guys returning, which will make us even stronger. And then in January, if we're still in and amongst 4th, 3rd, 5th, if we're within points of that, we know the owners are going to back Eddie Howe and give him whatever the hell is attainable.
Yeah,
we attracted Bruno Guimaraes when we were in 20th place. Just imagine who we can attract.
Who was fighting for his signature?
Arsenal.
Thank you.
Arsenal was. Yeah. So managed to get Guimaraes, Trippier to come from Atletico Madrid, albeit they were struggling a bit, and he wanted to move. He want Nick Pope as well. We attracted them, and we weren't in 4th place. There needs to be a discussion here if Mbappe actually does want to leave PSG. If we're sitting 4th place, and we got Guimaraes when we were in 20th, this whole idea of Mbappe coming to Newcastle, it might not, I don't think it will happen, but it is in and amongst the realms of possibility due to the fact that our club has money and whatnot, and the fact that as a team, Eddie Howe has worked absolute wonders, and the owners will back him. So we can
Steve, JPT will soon be going in like maybe 12 minutes or something like that. JPT, do you feel like right now, do you feel comfortable in the fact that you can be able to play a Newcastle? Are you comfortable within yourself that you could play Newcastle and beat them right now? Do you have that kind of chest right now?
Oh, let me see.
And Steve, what do you think about Newcastle as a club right now?
Newcastle's been killing it. Who's on your left? Like Like, do you have like play with the left winger or left like?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, we actually played with Joe Linton, which that isn't his strongest position. That isn't his strongest. We had a midfield three today of Willock, Longstaff, and Bruno Guimaraes. And then Joe Linton was up top on the left, Cal Wilson striker, and we had Miggy Almiron. Like I said, Isak is not going to be playing any games until probably January.
January,
and the thing is about Eddie Howe, when guys come back from injury, he does not like to throw them straight back in. What he's been doing with John Joe Shelby, he gave him a few, I think it was the 90th minute he subbed on Shelby against Spurs just to get him a little, give him a little bit. We don't want you playing 45 quite yet. We're going to work our way up. And we have the luxury of doing that because we've been getting wins or at least draws at places like Old Trafford, where we have historically in the 21st century have very much struggled. So we have the luxury of easing these injured guys back in. Same thing with Alain Saint-Maximin. We scored 4 today, and he wasn't on the pitch until the 80th minute. So we're easing him back in. Eddie Howe does two things with his squad. If you win, you're pretty much in for the next game. We had an unchanged 11 from when we beat Spurs. And so we won 4-0 today. So I wouldn't be surprised. Although Joe Linton does have a yellow card accumulation suspension, so he won't be available for Southampton next Sunday, which is a bit of a blow, but we've coped with injuries before. So I still feel very confident in the fact that we can slot Alain Saint-Maximin and that midfield three of Bruno, Willock, and Longstaff will, do its job. So
good.
The thing is,
okay, just round up so that I can, finish up with JPT and Chelsea just walked in. No, I said you should finish your point.
Oh yeah. To finish my point, the reason why this Newcastle United team I think is going to cause a lot of havoc and problems in the Premier League this season is because we don't need to be full strength. Our manager doesn't make excuses. We play progressive, attacking, no mercy football. Bro, it was 4-0. We were beating them 4-0. And I swear, if you told me that was an FA Cup final and we were losing by a goal, I'd believe you. Because the hunger, we were like demons chasing the ball, wanting more,
time, supernatural.
Yes.
JPT, you see, I have to answer that question for me.
Yeah.
See, ladies and gentlemen, Chelsea Dan. See, my member here, I have a member who is a Crest member. See, you demanded for it, Amy Baba. You asked for
What's it all crackly?
Chelsea Dan.
Totally, I've got to back out because it's all crackly. So I've got to back out and come back in. I'll be 1 minute. I'll back out and come back in.
Okay, good. Amy Baba, you asked for Chelsea Dan, and he's here. He showed up. That's what I do for my members. You ask and they come in. See, JPT, just before you go and everything, can you be able to beat Newcastle? Do you feel you can beat Newcastle this season? That's one.
Let's say
Secondly,
James's Park.
the consequences of this loss today. Do you think it's far-reaching, or do you think it's something you would paper crack? In that team right now, and where do you see Chelsea ending up this season with what's happening right now?
I mean, I could give like a diplomatic answer and be like, anyone has a chance. It doesn't matter. Like we said, any given day. The one thing that's gonna throw as like an X factor that is gonna be making it unpredictable. This is the last game before the World Cup break. So who's really gonna go all out? Is it gonna be?
I know our boys will because we've been doing that the whole time. That's the thing.
But my thing is that to think of the fear of risking an injury before you're missing out.
Right. No, that is true.
Big up to my fellas. Big up to my fellas.
Big up, Dan.
Big up, Dan.
But I mean, I said,
please let's allow JPT to finish his point, please.
Yeah,
JPT.
So I do think we have a chance, of course. Like it's just we don't know. Like I said, like if it's Joelinton at the left,
it's just one game suspension, by the way.
So
he'll be available for Chelsea as long as injuries don't, which he doesn't.
Which I'm saying, like if he starts, if he's playing that side, I mean, it's gonna be between him and whoever's there, either Aspie or we're playing the fucking like back three again and it's gonna be against
Allen isn't gonna be. I obviously it's very hard to predict, but St. Maximin's healthy again, and so maybe Eddie Howe. He eases him in we have 2 games before we play you guys. We have the cup game against Palace in a midweek. It's on a Tuesday, and we play you on a Saturday, and then next Sunday. So we won today.
Wait. So Chelsea Football Club is playing Newcastle before the World Cup.
This is the last game.
Huh?
No, it's not. It's after the World Cup.
No, it's after.
It's November 12th.
Chelsea Dan is happy. He's happy. Chelsea Dan is happy. He doesn't want to get another loss. Okay.
For starts, yeah. Big up to you guys. Big up to the chat. You Arsenal fans are buffling about Chelsea losing to Brighton today, yeah. But you gotta say your bottle jobs. No, go on then. My brother-in-law's with me. Right?
Tony better pray to God they beat Nottingham Forest tomorrow.
And that's the thing. I wonder who they're gonna line up with.
I'm Dan's brother-in-law, yeah.
He's coming to the show tomorrow night, Tony. He's coming on the show tomorrow night.
I'm a Tottenham fan. Do you know why Chelsea lost today? Because of shit.
He trolled you.
Hey,
In the
wait,
interview.
hang on a minute. You could laugh, yeah. You could laugh. I'm at the party, Tony. I told you I was going to come on tonight because I'm at the party. My brother-in-law's coming on our show tomorrow night, Tony. I'm going to introduce you to my brother-in-law, Matt. He's a Tottenham fan who's got no cabinets on the trophy with no Champions League, just like Arsenal. Yeah, just like Arsenal, yeah. Arsenal and Tottenham are lower clubs. So you can't talk with shit. We're betting you both at the end of the day.
You lost your game today. You lost your game today against Brighton. And I have JPT here who owns a Chelsea fan channel here and is humble. He's humble.
Tony, I'll tell you about Brighton, yeah. As Emma Bubba tried to get all the gob, but I told Emma Bubba on your thing, yeah. We played shocking, put a bad formation. He did the bad formation, putting Conor Gallagher up front, but conceded two own goals. We conceded 2 own goals. If Potter did not play, let me land, my brother. Let me land.
Your defense was in disarray today.
Brighton deserved to win that game because the bad position what Potter bring out. We don't gossip like you, Newcastle and Man United and Tottenham and Arsenal and Liverpool, making excuses for yourselves. Yeah, it's the manager's fault. It's the manager's fault.
I don't have to have excuses.
My little kids, yeah, my little kids cost you earlier, Tony. It's cost you, yeah, because we know all you Arsenal fans do is blame the manager and making excuses, but Chelsea we don't. We understand. We deserve to get beat that game. Because the formation where Potter got cocky, thought he could play the same formation against Salzburg at the Champions League, played the same formation at Brighton, and we got destroyed by it.
And hopefully he learns from it for your side of things.
If Potter doesn't not change this system against Arsenal, I'm afraid you'll beat us next week. And when I come on your Watch Long show, and if we beat you on Sunday, God help me, Tony. You'll be coming down with grinding shirt and be kissing my feet. And all you Arsenal fans will be doing exactly the same thing. Because you lot get all the gob saying that you're going to smoke us next week. We'll wait and see, my brother. We'll wait and see. And Tottenham fans, my brother-in-law's a Tottenham fan. They can't talk. They're just like you. No trophy.
You have to give Chelsea Dan. He's a Chelsea fan. He has to vent. So I'm just giving him an opportunity to vent.
Don't you think Dan lives...
Don't listen to him.
No, shut up. Dan lives in the past. It's all about we won this, we won that. You've only got to look at the league table, Dan. Tottenham's above you. Newcastle's above you. Arsenal's above you. Man City's above you.
Oh, my God.
And yet the trophy cabinet is empty.
Yeah, but JPT.
You got to put some silverware or something there.
Yeah, JPT. Us Chelsea fans know, yeah, that... These lot are history clubs, yeah. Got nothing in their cabinet. We don't care. But you might be where you are in the table. But close to the end of the season, we'll find out where we are at the Champions League.
That's true.
That's true. Tottenham and Arsenal.
I would say.
And if we get Bob up top of an Arsenal, yeah, he can't even talk. Tottenham here, yeah, my brother-in-law. Got to play Marcel. They haven't qualified for the Champions League yet.
We're top of the group. We're
okay. Because JPT might say
it's fine. But I'll say this: Spurs,
JP.
yes. Spurs, yes. They're in a higher place for a reason right now in the table. But when the time comes, it's gonna because they shouldn't have been losing 2-0 to Bournemouth.
You shouldn't have lost 4-1 to Brighton.
We should have. We were talking about we are how many injuries do we have? How many injuries do we have?
You lost to
And, like,
Newcastle.
But it doesn't matter. But look, my thing is that Tottenham, with the players and the signs they have, they're all still healthy. They shouldn't have been down that much. That's all I'm saying.
Did they not lose to Man United at all?
But look, Man United have been looking sharp too. That's the thing. I'm being real. I could talk shit because I know someone, the United family said like, well, how did we lose to Brighton and give them crap about Brentford? My thing is that how many of their players were injured? None. No. Does anyone have like suspension? Were they injured? No.
Okay,
We're out without Fofana, with James, without Koulibaly, and we're playing with a hurt Kovacic. We're playing with a hurt Chilwell. And our attack is missing because I said Sterling has gone from Raheem Sterling to Sterling Silver. This man's been playing trash. He's not been golden. He's been gone since week 2 or 3. He has been just atrocious. I mean, is he playing the wrong position? Today he was. Because why is he playing wing back? Why is he playing wing back? Why is Pulis playing wing back?
JPT,
Had we gone with the back four,
JPT,
we would have gone better.
JPT, please, before you go, what happened today? Brighton destroyed you guys 4 goals to 1 today.
Pillar to post. Pillar.
See, are you confident that Chelsea Football Club would go next weekend on Sunday and beat up Arsenal at your home in Stamford Bridge?
Your next
easy game. No, is what I'm saying. It's gonna be coming close. Now I gotta see how Arsenal line up because, like I said, Saliba and Jesus are 1 yellow card away from suspension. So are they gonna play? Because if Jesus not playing, Eddie.
Oh, Eddie and Ketia. Oh,
he's running out of minutes on that fake phone. He's got. That's what I'm saying. And Saliba, you're a golden boy. You're gonna be drinking tequila that night if he gets another yellow because both of them gone. Ooh.
Okay.
JPT, I know what I love you. Everything you say is
talking,
he says. These guys up here, yeah, are trolls. They're trolls tonight.
I ain't a troll, bro.
I
don't know what it's like to lose.
We're not trolls.
No, we're not trolls.
I lost to Liverpool.
No, Chelsea Dan, listen. Chelsea Dan, listen. Okay, thank God it's off. It's off.
But I mean, and ban that's not even banner. My thing is that how will Arsenal line up because they have to have this. Arteta's thinking about this. Do I risk playing them in a game versus Forest, lowest bottom of the table team, or play them out, see if they can actually get a result at halftime and then play them off? It's gonna be close, and that's what they're gonna be aiming for because if Forest coming to that mentality, like if we get into Jesus' head, Saliba's head, or make them do a risky challenge, or
chat with them. Too. Chat with them, get them pissed off. Make them
things. Things.
It's a mental, like I said, it's a mental thing. It's sport. It's a mental and physical.
Tony, my question is: does Arsenal risk starting with Saliba and Jesus for a game versus Forest, or do you rely on maybe using Holding and Nketiah?
They don't deserve to. The problem is Holding doesn't deserve to play after PSV.
After what happened with PSV, I want my full strength team.
Yes, you need it. You need it.
So it's a gamble. So maybe they gotta play smart. I think this will show the discipline that Arteta has with this squad.
Yeah,
if he can start them and play.
Mind you, Gabriel Jesus is a professional. He's a Brazilian. These are professionals. They know how to handle themselves when that yellow card limit. They can be able to stay off problems professionally. Come on, he's done it for the past 4 or 5 games. That's since when he's had this, this yellow card
looming over his head,
over his head, and professionally he has kept himself till today. So if he goes through tomorrow professionally, cut it up, tomorrow. He can be able to face Chelsea, and after that, whatever happens, we'll take whatever happens. But see, I don't think after this performance this afternoon, that you guys should be confident of a win against Arsenal.
I think both
saying,
of you guys should have concerns about both, because there are
No,
things.
but why? Arsenal is top of the table. No. No,
It's not about
what you're using right now to actually evaluate Arsenal's performance is not a loss. We did not lose in the Premiership. We lost in the Europa League. We rested players. We did
Right.
not play with our full strength at the start, if you want to say. We rested some players. We thought we could go to Eindhoven and, just bamboozle them. But it's not. It doesn't work in
It's the
that way.
opposite. They
It's the
bamboozled.
opposite of what happened. Yeah. So this is the Premiership. We haven't lost in the Premiership since the game against Manchester United, which was away, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to Chelsea. We've not lost in the league since Manchester United. So I really think that Chelsea should be respecting us when
the whole league should be
we're coming
respecting
down to
Arsenal.
Stamford Bridge.
If I'm just keeping it like a buck, everyone should be respecting Arsenal, because, like we said, how many times this league is like from top to bottom, anyone can have a result. Anyone can result. My thing is that it's not that Arsenal should be worried about Chelsea. Is that you have to know who is competing with them for that title, and that's City. So anything dropped, any risk of a draw is going to hurt you guys badly, because, like we said, you had to go near perfect from this league.
You have to get 90 plus points.
That's what the hell. Like,
that's unbelievable. You have to get 90 points to even be in and amongst the within City. City have hit 100.
See, but City nearly got a blip today. They were just freaking lucky.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for that,
they did get a bit lucky.
Kevin De Bruyne, they would have dropped points today.
What a fucking goal! What a fucking goal! By
beautiful.
The other time podcast. I thank God you've been following me for some time. I also watch you too. I've been honored to be on a show with you. See, I've been telling these guys from Man City and everyone who have given or handed the title to Man City already this season, because there are people who have handed it to them already. I told them, I said, come guys, see, since Haaland came, he scored nothing less than almost nearly 20 goals for you guys, even more in terms of all competitions. Understandable, good and okay. Now, I was telling these guys here that when this guy, because he has a checkered injury record in Germany, I watched the German league. He has a checkered injury record when it comes to injuries. Now he's out. This guy is going to be out for at least 3 weeks. 3 weeks.
Is that what it is? And he has the whole World Cup to recover too. So by the time after World Cup,
yeah, exactly. So see, it would still need to, get through those hurdles of, regaining fitness and everything again. See, Manchester City have, for some reason, they've built themselves around Haaland right now to be able to get their goals. And it showed a number of times this season. The game against FC Copenhagen, you remember that game they played away? No goals.
Albeit they were down to 10 men.
Every game,
it was down to 10 men. I will point that out.
But still against Copenhagen?
No, I know what you mean.
Every game that they've struggled this season, apart from Newcastle, where Haaland didn't turn up, actually, and in Aston Villa, he did not turn up. They fail to get goals, or they fail to get this kind of like, this way that they just bash teams out with
defensively as well.
Exactly.
Notice this about Man City the other day. Look at their Champions League knockout results when they get knocked out. In 2017, in 16-17, in Pep's second year, I believe, they lost 7-5 on away goal. Or sorry, it was 6-6 on away goals. If you score 6 in the Champions League, 5 were at home in the first leg, and you cock that up, that's a problem. The Real Madrid last year, they lost. It was something stupid like 5-4 or 6-5. And it was at the very end.
And it was theirs to lose.
Can you guys remember that last season?
Lyon beat them 3-1 during COVID also in the quarterfinal.
Last season Manchester City never had centre-backs, like fully injury-free centre-backs. They never had. All their centre-backs were injured. last
A
season.
lot
at
of
the
them
top.
were. A
They
lot of
had
them.
to get midfielders to actually fullbacks to actually fit into their centre back. See, the injuries are coming. These games are coming thick and fast. And trust me, teams like Newcastle wouldn't be waiting. They would play Manchester City. You see, these teams are coming, and without Erling Haaland to chip in those goals for them. See, we saw Alvarez today. He was average. With all that ammunition with you in Manchester City, you couldn't score today against Leicester City that are shipped the worst. In fact, they're the worst team to concede goals this season. 25
The
goals
worst
this
defense
season.
in the
Those guys.
Prem. Yeah.
The worst defense in the in the Premiership. And the Alvarez couldn't score. What does that tell you? Without Haaland, these guys are not scoring goals. And if they do meet
Or it's at least
teams,
much harder.
if they meet teams that will go toe to toe with them, oh my God. I'm sorry, man.
I would say this. I would say this, that you can argue, and yes, City should have beat them much more today. You can argue that at the Kings Power Stadium, it's hard to play in. Now with that squad, there should be no excuse. I would say, I mean, with the exception of like this team, I think just converted and relied too much on Haaland. That now it's like if he's gone, and they expect a lot from Julian Alvarez, which is why that they should probably start looking for like maybe as
they
a
hauled him away in the second half today,
and they did. But
you know what? You know one transfer that I think Manchester City absolutely need? Ivan Toney.
Yeah, and that's
because Riyad Mahrez, his penalty record isn't that great. And
terrible.
you know what? If Man City are in a Champions League final,
Ireland, why would you go bring an Ivan Toney? And
because if Erling Haaland, if Haaland keeps picking up these little knocks, imagine if those little knocks happen to be on the day of the UCL final. If they make
it's the same reason why Arsenal need like a level, like 2 levels above Eddie.
No, 3, 4. Ivan Toney is so much better than Nketiah.
But I'm just saying, like,
it's even an aberration for you to even put their names together.
It's respectful to Toney to put him in the same bracket as Nketiah. Yeah,
I'm just saying, like,
no, I know.
Not you, JPT.
I would say, like, no, we saw what happened at PSV. But my thing is that look at the difference in quality. Like, if Jesus has a proper backup, Arsenal would be feeling pretty confident. And I'm sure
Ivan Toney.
Like Ivan Toney. But the issue is, what was the budget that Arteta was given? 50 million
for January.
For January.
That's not going to get you Ivan Toney. Ivan Toney's going to go for bare minimum 65 if they're selling to an English club.
I was going to say 80.
You know what? We'll be dreaming.
It is City.
We'll be dreaming if you think that Ivan Toney will go for 60. That guy will go for 80 million pounds. Come on, bro.
Yeah, and that's my point. That's my point. The Cronkies are only offering you 50. But if you got Ivan Toney, if Kroenke opened up his checkbook a bit more, which he does, he has plenty of money. The guy is loaded. He's about to pay 500. He's about to pay the NFL $571 million, like that.
Which is like 520 euros.
Whatever the hell. If you guys had 200 million, I could take you seriously for the title.
Why is he paying that whole money to the NFL?
Because of long story short, St. Louis Rams moved to Los Angeles, and there was stadium. The state, they broke the stadium lease to do that, and so it's a lawsuit, bullshit, blah 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 blah. Damn. But anyways, they owe. Long story short, they owed the city of St. Louis essentially and the NFL like that $571 million for moving the Rams from St. Louis to Los Angeles. Mm-hmm. That's a long story short.
And that's the difference between like why and not to, like I said, not to be disrespectful to Arsenal, because you're staying on top for this long. That's impressive. It's not fluke. It's proven. Now we had to see how you guys faced versus City when that was. Like, to your benefit that it was postponed, because you did not need that in your schedule. You need that pressure right there. But if most likely, and odds are that they will, if they sign a good replacement, if Haaland still needs more time to recover, they have the money, they have the we have Pep, we have this.
Alvarez did
have
most
that
of his
pull.
damage off the left at River Plate, by the way. I don't mind him as a false nine. I think he's a very good player. It wasn't his best performance, but Alvarez, for me, has to be playing off the left.
And
That's
this
where
team
he's
is
at.
capable of playing
But
well.
again,
Like, they just need to rely
you guys should
on
always
Haaland.
remember that this is the Premiership.
Yes,
It's the
exactly.
Premiership.
100%.
Yeah. So all
That's
these
all I know.
players, see, it's unless you're a robot like Erling Haaland, you can come into the Premiership and score such an amount of goals. It's okay. We'll gobble it up. But see, when you were normal, see, even players like Nunes, the kind of pressure that was given to that guy, and that's why he's just scoring goals sparingly. He's not a super robot like Erling Haaland, who will come in and start getting you goals all of a sudden. These guys have to acclimatize into the Premiership. That's why this league is the hardest league in the world. We're crying out now. These guys have to acclimatize to it. So legend just think that, oh, he dazzled in River Plate. He killed this broth. You'll be humbled by the Premiership.
No. Yeah, absolutely. But absolutely. I mean, Alvarez just needs some time to acclimatize. I've seen good stuff from him. It's not like he's been awful for Man City. I thought, he made good runs today against Leicester. He had the right idea. He didn't look like out of place. It was just the probably getting in those right areas to put those goals away, which comes with learning, adapting obviously to the Premier League. But no,
Okay.
the thing with Arsenal though, I don't.
JPT, please, you have to stay till we close the show, please.
I mean,
Yeah, we're almost done.
I was about to type it out.
Yeah, we're almost done. We're almost done.
Okay, if it's almost
we're
done,
above
I'll
the
do
1
it.
hour limit, so we're almost done. So we should
fine.
finish in like
It's
maybe
fine. I'll risk the ass kicking my wife's gonna give me, so it's fine.
please, in like 8-9 minutes. Yeah.
Fine.
So yeah, Steve, JPT. Listen, Liverpool right now it's playing.
Still draw. It's still a draw.
Still playing
1-1 with 20
1-1
minutes
right
to go
now.
about.
See, JPT and Steve, right now, I don't want so much words because we need to go into tomorrow's game, which is Manchester United and West Ham and Arsenal versus Nottingham Forest. See, just give me one word. Have the wheels fallen completely with Liverpool Football Club? Do you think they will still find their way into the top 4? Quick question, quick answers.
You said one
JPT.
word. I'm saying that they're not going to get top 4.
I'm also saying no
because of how they started, how much they dropped in quality. Like the top 2 teams. One is competing for first. The other one is not even is getting lucky results. Like they should have lost to Brighton. Yeah, but they've been looking like the most convincing. They've dropped in quality so much. Trent has been exposed. It's gonna be a tough one, but like I said, this is why it's still a top 6. But I honestly think, and it's looking like might stay like this for maybe for the rest of the season, depending on what happens, that Newcastle is taking Liverpool's spot as a Big 6 contender. Now, are they still going to be competing for maybe to fight? Yeah, but I don't think they're going to succeed. I think we will see them maybe in 7th at best.
They're far too reliant on Thiago. They are far, and the problem with Thiago, he's injury prone. So the whole team is built around an injury-prone player, and when that injury-prone player, who's phenomenal, by the way, isn't playing for Liverpool, they look like 2 different teams with zero chemistry, zero ability, zero confidence, and the results are lacking too.
People want to point out that it's Mane is a big factor. Yeah, it's a big factor, but look how
he was on a slight decline. To be fair,
true.
It's the whole team. The whole team is poor.
The whole team.
The whole team is on a decline.
The defense has been horrible this season.
Joe Gomez was responsible for the goal Liverpool.
Van Dijk looks like a stone. He looks like a stone.
Yep.
It looks like
Allison. If they make top 4, Allison will be their player of the year because that guy you can never question his quality because he saves what he's supposed to save. He's excellent on the ball. I can't remember of a time.
He's been the savior this season. If not, they would have conceded lots of goals this season.
I can't remember Allison. I can't remember an Allison mistake off the top of my head. In fact, he scored a goal. He scored a goal against
Brazilian.
West Ham. Top 4. Like,
Okay, let's go to the next topic quickly, please, because
yeah,
JPT is our special guest here. Guys, please, you have to go down to the Other Time podcast, and go
100%.
and like this guy's podcast. He runs a lovely Chelsea Football Club podcast.
Yeah.
Aside, talking football, he's also my friend in the backstage. Of course, you guys know in-house Steve here, Strasbourg. Steve is my friend, he's my brother also. Go add these guys up, please, I'll give you a chance to shout out your channels, after this program, when we get to the end of it. See, Manchester United versus West Ham. They're playing in Old Trafford. What is going to happen? In recent seasons, West Ham have been a thorn in the flesh of Manchester United. What is going to happen? Steve, quickly, so that the Other Time podcast can get us through that match also. Quickly, what do you think?
0-0.
Ooh.
I'm going with
That's a big
1-0
one.
United.
Which
1-0
one? There are two
One-
Uniteds.
Oh,
There are two
West
United.
Ham and Manchester.
Hello.
well, okay, that's
Hello.
true. I just say West Ham all the time. Who the fuck says United for
You
them?
were messing with Eddie Nketiah's phone, Hello.
Exactly. The signal jammer, man. It's who gave this man minutes card? Who gave him the little like CD for
I'm
1,000
telling you,
AOL
man.
minutes that
Man,
you get from your old cereal boxes?
It's good to go subliminal, man. I'm telling you, bro.
I'm like, oh man, but yeah,
So
Manchester.
Steve, that was a good one. Steve, that was a good one.
I froze for a second. I was like, did I?
That's
What?
United.
That's him.
It's West Ham United,
West Ham
Manchester
United.
United,
True.
Yeah.
Newcastle United. Yeah, a lot of Uniteds out there.
Random. This is
Okay, yeah.
really off topic. Is it bad to say Man U? Is it like a hateful thing? I was just on the
No, it's not.
on a,
Mine is okay.
Never heard of it being
because
hateful.
I was just like listening to, I don't know if you follow Sophia Talks Football. She was just saying that because I said something
Right.
Man U, and she's like, oh, that's apparently that's like it's a frown thing to say in the Manchester United community. I was like, that's a hateful thing?
Steve,
I've never heard that in
Steve,
my
Steve,
life.
Mostly for the
Steve,
plaintiffs.
you know
I
what?
just want like validation. I was like, that thing.
Steve, you know what? I don't like going political, but see, it's good he asked that question because at this time,
I
we're in a
never heard
world
it.
where every single thing, annoys people.
Oh, no, it didn't. It
Is
didn't
it
annoy me.
because it's
If
man?
you say Man U,
No.
if you say Man U, and then they'll say, "Oh, it's offensive." So it's
No,
good that he asked that question.
My thing was like, was there
It's not
history
offensive.
with that, like how it's being called Man U? I was like, I had never once heard it, but I was like, I'm intrigued. Like anyone else, or am I just an idiot in this? Probably both. Who knows? But
No, I have no idea about that either.
But I was that's what I was like. Maybe
That's
Tony
what I'm saying.
knows. But no, she
No,
wasn't like she
I
wasn't
don't
like she was
know.
like, oh, like it's crazy. Like she just like
But we just have to be
responded how it
careful
was
because we
bad.
don't know. We don't know what people do think about that because I
I
don't
was
know
like,
every
maybe
little thing
Jack can help.
annoys people at this time.
Oh
Every
no,
little
she
thing.
didn't. She
People are
wasn't.
very
She wasn't.
fickle at this time. So
Yeah.
I don't know. But
no,
let's
yeah,
continue.
she's cool. She's cool. But yeah, no, I think Manchester United won, West Ham 0. I think
fair enough.
Man U is. Excuse me. What do you call it?
God
Yeah,
damn
Manchester United are still playing good.
Okay.
They're coming off of that good performance from Sheriff, still Sheriff, but.
Mhm.
I mean, I look back. I look back.
Again,
What they did.
it's
I look
Sheriff.
back
Come
with
on, man.
Spurs. I know.
Let's don't make
like,
it to be what it's not. It's Sheriff. Come
I
on,
know.
it's Sheriff.
It showed for like
Shout
the,
out
Sheriff,
to the
you're a
football
small.
capital.
but look at
Football
Spurs, so you
capital.
can see how
Shout
they
out to
performed
you, my
during
brother.
Spurs.
God bless you, man. Yeah, you're saying something. It's just
No,
Sheriff. Come on,
It's just
bro.
Sheriff. It's just Sheriff. But
It's
it showed
Sheriff.
for what they do with like their backups and everything. But also, like you can talk about like how they performed versus Spurs. Like that was a dominant performance.
Great.
So I think we could see that United versus West Ham. But yeah,
Okay.
that's my prediction. 1-0.
Fair enough. I just think West Ham recently they've impressed me defensively. They're starting to kind of tie things up, and offensively they're looking a little bit better. But I feel like Moyes has to kind of they're a little bit too reliant on my liking personally on long balls and whatnot. But you, like get the ball in Ben Rama's feet, in Bowen's feet and whatnot. Make something happen. Combination plays. But they have achieved success in that way. So who am I to question David Moyes? That was a relegation team only a few years ago. Now they are, Europa League regulars to an extent. So I mean, I am gonna go 0-0 though, just because I think they can frustrate. I think they can frustrate Manchester United, but we'll see.
I mean,
Low scoring game, because West Ham games haven't been that high scoring, and
Yeah, exactly. I see.
They have a good squad.
I really do think that West Ham United have really had a bad start to the season. But
yes,
very sincere with you, they've fared quite fairly. Going up this season, they've churned out some quite good wins. They've churned out wins against Fulham. Churned out wins against teams like Bournemouth. And when you start getting points, maximum points, from these games that you
build
meant to
confidence back
win.
up.
Exactly, you can be
And
able
everyone
to
loves
bring
to
your
win.
confidence back up,
Mhm.
and they're getting serious wins against Anderlecht and Skilkeborg in the Europa League. So they're really getting those points and building their confidence again. And mind you, they brought in a striker from the Italian Serie A, Scamacca, who is a very
Scamacca,
very
what a fucking
who's a
player!
very very great
Very good
striker, by
player.
the way.
They have a
Exactly,
good team.
very good player. Slim,
Yeah.
lanky, is tall, is a bully. They
Yeah.
need to get the ball across to this guy.
He loves
most of
a
the
goal
time,
from
and
outside
they
the
will score
box.
goals.
He loves a
That's
goal
what I
from
think.
outside the box too. He's
Exactly.
he had in Serie A last year with Sassuolo. He had the best. I believe he had the best percentage of shots from outside the box converted. He had something like I could be completely getting this wrong, but I want to say about 8 goals. 8 goals from outside the box, and they're fucking belters. So Scamacca, very talented. He is going to be a goal threat. The reason also why I'm going to go 0-0 is just because
He is.
Varane.
Okay, now the last game, Arsenal versus Nottingham Forest. Now this is Arsenal's last game at home before the World Cup. So it's our last game at home. JPT, what do you reckon? No, I'll start with you, Steve, before we go to JPT. A quick one. What do you think about that game? It's an urgent one. Arsenal need to have a reply, not just for the game against Manchester City. I think this morning in the UK, but they need to reply to that horrible, harsh, disgraceful beating they got in the hands of PSV on Thursday. What do you reckon will be the final scores for tomorrow? Arsenal against Nottingham Forest at home at the Emirates.
I'll give Arsenal the benefit of the doubt at home. I'll go 2-0. But the performance, you have to pick those levels back up, because I feel, and when I've watched Arsenal, I've probably missed 1 or 2 of the games, but ever since the Liverpool game, I feel like you've been scraping by, and the performances haven't been at their blistering best. And it costs you.
Shaking his head. Oh no, JPT shaking.
And it costs you.
Anything bad for Arsenal, you shake your head.
I'll say this because I'll let Steve finish, but I'll just say this is going to go with like the test I was expecting for Arsenal. Go ahead, Steve. Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. Have you finished, Steve? He gave you time to finish.
You guys need to have a good performance, but I'll go 2-0. I'll go 2-0.
Great. JPT, see, Arsenal needs this game. What do you reckon is going to be the final scores for tomorrow? And back it up with your final words.
Like I said, it all depends on who you guys start up with and what Martinez is he thinking for Chelsea, or is he thinking about pointing the 3 points right now and just risking it? This is a game for you guys to win. I would even go to say as far as 3-0. But if you start with Jesus and Saliba, it would be 3-0. If you don't, this game could possibly be like a 1-1 if it comes to resting both of them. Now, what I was saying to Steve that why I'm shaking my head yes, because it's the endurance test that I kept saying about Arsenal starting from the 20th of October. It's the endurance test. 4 games, 10 days. This is where where does the depth come in?
Quad depth.
For your team? Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And right now you have one win in the 3 games. If you guys go into this 4th game, you get, with the win, I would say okay, they pulled it through. They had what it takes to come with positive. 2 wins, 1 draw, 1 loss. If you come into a draw or a loss, this is going to show that Arsenal just needs to. That'd be frugal or be smart with that 50 mil. It's gonna be like there was an old show back in the day with Rachel Ray, $40 a day. You guys are gonna have to do 50 mil in one window.
It's true. It's true. I hate that word 50 million. Arsenal should be dropping up to 200 million.
Yep.
Because,
I
see,
think you guys just
we need a centre back.
They'll be fine.
We need a centre back. We need a wide forward. We need a central defensive midfielder. Someone that's kind of like a like-for-like replacement for Thomas Partey. See, we do need a wide forward. We need a central striker. That's better than Eddie Nketiah, so that we can be able to have the time and luxury to ship Eddie Nketiah out by next season. See, we need a major surgery in Arsenal if we're to go for the title. But trust me, if the board gives Arsenal £50 million, see, I've said that Arsenal will win the league this season. If they do that by the transfer window by January, let's kiss that title goodbye. We're not winning that title again. We need something
facts.
more than £50 million. So it's not going to be possible. I'm sorry. It won't be possible again. As it is, see, really, Newcastle, because see, I do believe that Eddie Howe will be backed in the transfer window.
100%. We'll spend more than 50 in January.
I'm telling you, bro. See, JPT, it's possible because I'm seeing this. Newcastle have the whole resources that they need. See, what if they go to Kylian Mbappe and say, okay, you have a problem with PSG right now. You know what we're going to do with you? We're going to give you real estate in Dubai right now. That's what we're going to do for you. Yeah. And do you know what next we're going to do for you? We'll just give you a blank check right now. Go. Write the amount of money you want. Erling Haaland is earning about 800 per week, right? Kylian Mbappe, please just write the amount of money you want to earn down here.
We'll give it to you, no problem.
What do you think will happen? They'll do it. Why? Because they have endless resources.
And we're fourth in the league. Also, so it's not like you're joining a relegation team.
Oh, no.
You're fighting for something. And given we during the show, we've talked about that there are some, not many, vulnerabilities to City. And there are obvious signs of fragility with Arsenal in terms of the squad. Yeah, we could and Leicester, and albeit this is the same league that Leicester have won before, this could be, as crazy as it sounds, but it's getting realer by the day and by the game. Newcastle could be in a title race if things start slipping up for Arsenal and Man City.
But things is already slipping up for Chelsea Football Club.
Yes, exactly, and that's the other thing too.
Happening. Yeah, and the games are coming in thick and fast, and this is what will happen. The top four will be blown open, right before our eyes. See, let's close this show now. Steve, can you shout out your channel, and then we'll go finally to our guest here, JPT, who has been very patient with us. I've seen him checking his time, looking at the clocks, looking at his phone for a message, from the message and all that. So, Steve, shout out your channel. Tell us who you are. And remember our show. Shout out our show, which will be starting on Monday.
Yeah, 100%. So Gunners and Mags, it's going to be starting on Monday. Me and Tony talking Premier League football and, our teams. So we got that going up on Monday. You can find me mainly on Newcastle Fans TV on YouTube. I did the watch along this morning. I had a fucking ball. And it'll probably be going something like that through the rest of the season. So that's where I'm mainly at. And then you could check out Strasbourg Steve on my YouTube. I do some videos sometimes on there, but mostly focused on Newcastle Fans TV is the primary place. And on Twitter also, Stove, Machala. So that's all on my end. We'll go to this guy next.
Good. Shout out to you, Steve. God bless you, my brother, man. JPT, what's up? Shout out your channel. Let this cats know who you are, bro.
Yeah, the Out of Time Podcast, YouTube, on Instagram as well. Same thing. The Out of Time PC on Twitter. I haven't posted anything in a while on my YouTube, but I plan to do one tomorrow. If you guys are welcome to join, talk about pretty much similar to what we talked about. Like I want to speak about reviewing the Chelsea meltdown that happened, and then also predictions for the Arsenal game tomorrow, like more in depth. And I feel like we rushed this, because of the time constraint. But it's what happens when you have good discussions with people. So I just say, like, thank you guys for letting me on, and subscribe to both of these guys. And what a fucking name, Gunners and Mags. That went over my head at first. It went over my head at first, like Gunners and Magazines. Are we going right wing over here? I know, but like it sounds like that. Like, you see what I'm saying? Yeah. I was like, was that intentional?
You're right. The wordplay. Magazine clips on a gun.
Magazine clips. It's just Steve that brought that name, but I just liked it because it looked. You
made it even more brilliant.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, we're going right wings over here. Do I need to get a red hat? Like, let's do this.
Yeah, of course. Me and Steve. Steve is a very outspoken person.
Oh yeah.
Me too. I'm a very outspoken person too. So it's gonna be fireworks.
Wait, Leeds won?
Wait, what? Leeds? What? Hold on. My TV was fucked up.
Wait.
Whoa.
Because it was 88 minutes.
Whoa. Wait. What am I seeing here?
Who the fuck is Somerville?
Oh, Leeds just scored.
What?
Whoa.
That's the first
in the 89th minute. Guys, the wheels are falling for Liverpool. The wheels are falling.
What did I say?
The
new top 6.
I'm telling you, bro.
Okay. I can understand.
You know what the funny part is? Liverpool welcome Napoli on Tuesday, who have won 13 in a row. That game's going to go one way and one way only, a 3-0 Napoli win. Just like that.
I can't believe this. Liverpool down again. Liverpool.
Was it Trent's fault again? Or where did this goal come from?
Bruv, it came from Somerville.
Oh no, Trent came off early.
Yeah, they brought in Milner!
Bruv, it's shocking, man.
It's 5 minutes left.
Super club now. He knows exactly what they need.
Man, ladies and gentlemen,
off the bench,
this is the
Premiership. I love it.
It's a Premiership.
Peak Barclays Premier League.
Oh my God!
Shout out to everyone.
This Trent is a fraud.
I told you guys. This game week, this Saturday in particular, we will look back on at the end of the season and be like, a lot of shit happened that day, and look where these teams are.
Exactly.
And you know what's
funny? I think it's going to be that kind of a fact.
Weekend because like the matches. Excuse me, that verb.
See, Liverpool is losing at home. See, JPT, Liverpool is losing at home because it's United.
This is not the same Liverpool from last season. This is what we've been shown, but we keep wanting to
because their owners don't have ambition to actually give Klopp a lot of players in the window. It's just Konate in one summer. Then it's this summer. They brought in Scottish right back Calvin Ramsey.
No. Excuses. No, they brought in.
Of course, it's excuses.
These guys have spent. No. They brought in Nunes. They brought in Koyute. They brought in who is this other guy? They brought in.
Cavallo. Oh, it's under review.
Oh, it's under review. That's true.
Sorry.
What?
I'm just playing, Tony.
That's Strasbourg. There you fucking go. Go on.
It's a goal.
No, we're losing 2-1, but we still got like 20, 30 minutes. Come on. Go on.
Tony, I was just messing with you, man.
Yeah. I was shocked, man. I was like, what's happening? And then this guy's to lose.
Oh my God, Nonto. Oh my God. And Curtis Jones. By the way, Curtis Jones is shit. He's crap.
Man, it's shocking.
I'd rather have Albert Sambi Lakonga.
I'm afraid because I don't want your missus to come around and say, "Hey, bro, where have you been?"
I mean, this is a good way to end the show,
guys. So please, just subscribe to the channel if you've not subscribed at Tony Club Gunner TV. JPT will be making more. We'll be making more appearances here. Like I said, backstage, me and him will talk most times. He's a great guy. Great person, our heart. Steve is always here with me. He's one of my right hand guys now. Just after Ron Maguire, in which our flagship show on Tuesday. I'll be back on Tuesday with the flagship show, the Ron and Claude show. We'll be having the legendary Jez Collins with us on Tuesday. He runs the TV. and it should be coming on Tuesday, and I should be having the premiere of the Gurneys and Mags Premier League show,
Oh,
which will be between me and Stephen Strasbourg, Steve up here, and of course JPT will be coming, to grace up the shows. Once he can be able to summon up the courage and the confidence to come back after this loss today. Thank you very, very much, guys. JPT, God bless you, my brother, man. Please, I would like to see you on the show once again.
bro.
Like you can see, today it was fireworks today. Let's do this again, brothers. Yeah, Steve, big ups to you, man.
No, thank you. Take care, guys. Peace.
Take care, guys. Peace.